Alrighty then, it's time for Team Battle Zach, and as you can tell by the length of this video, this is going to be quite the doozy. What's going on? I'm against a Teemo as Zach in top lane, so you know that's pretty much a grim situation for me. I did pick into him, and I sort of just had the thought that, oh, I'll survive, I'll poke out some farm and just eventually go into team fights, and you just make my utility shine through. But I didn't know a couple things. One, this Teemo is super aggressive. Two, Thunderlord's procs off his poison now apparently, so he gets to chunk the shit out of me for a lot of damage, basically very easily. So yeah, already to less than half health. Already having to I'm gonna have to pop my potion very quickly because otherwise he's gonna absolutely destroy me. And also my Kha'Zix gets invaded by Lee Sin, so I'm a little bit hesitant to stick around a lane, and as a result that causes Teemo to basically rob me of my passive. Right now he's gonna take a tower shot for it. Taking away my passive. That's bad. Seemingly because I can't counter him, and now I'm very vulnerable to dying, and he finishes me off. So, first blood for Teemo. Though there is one thing to take out of that. He burned both his summoner spells, flash and his ignite. So maybe I'll be able to revenge kill him if I get lucky enough to catch him when he does something penisy. My idea is that a lot of times with CC champions you can punish them if they're harassing you when they get close to a tower, especially if they have a dot. Because if they got a dot, then they get too close, and maybe the tower will redirect themselves to them. Anyways, go get some mangoes, heal myself up. Teemo is, chunking the shit out of me, and I thought maybe, with a few ranks up on my abilities, I can actually harass him back. No, it turns out he's just super fucking brutal, so. He gets level 6, so now obviously diving him is going to be super risky, but I'm going to take a huge big gamble here once I reach level 6. I feel I could possibly kill him with one rotation of an ultimate, or a combo ultimate. So, I know I need to go back to heal, but I see my chance as he doesn't immediately back off because he wants to push this tower. So I wait for the minions to get low, and then I charge up my E and jump in, and I do a shitload of damage, and I actually manage to kill Teemo. And of course I still die anyways. I collect my blobs, but I think Thunderlord's proc or something, because even though collecting the blobs didn't save me from the poison, unless it was a combination of his E, Q, and his ultimate ticking down on me. Still though, whatever, I revenge killed him, so it's not a complete loss. However, though, I get a little too cocky here, thinking I can, actually have a chance against him now that I have some magic resistance. But I didn't actually know that he was building like a sort of gunblade build. Also, kind of just took too much damage in general. So yeah, the gunblade build is actually one just thanks to watching this guy. I might be trying on Teemo because holy crap, the sustain and just cruelty he gets to exhibit on me is immense. Of course. I want to make one thing very clear. Yes, I'm getting my ass kicked in lane, but I'm hoping to shine through when it comes to the team fights, because even if you get destroyed as a kind of supporty or crowd control champion in lane or something, you can sort of recover in team fights just based on your CC and utility. So here's hoping on that. Kha'Zix should have maybe tried helping me every now and then, or at least, put some wards around for me, or done something, because I'm pretty much vulnerable to everything. I jump on Teemo, and I actually will kick his ass. Chunk him down a lot, and he doesn't have his flash, and he's just kind of sticking around anyway, so flash Q, he dies, and I manage to live, and I get a little bit more free farm for a little while at the very least, so that's good for me. As you can see, I maybe have been getting my ass destroyed by Teemo, but I ain't gonna take it down like a bitch, so I'm just holding out there. Just wait till the team fights where the true, the premise of this game goes by. Basically, the premise of the video is that despite getting a little bit destroyed by Teemo, and by a little bit I mean a lot, and it's actually going to keep getting worse and worse, as you'll see in a short bit, that you can still contribute to a game regardless. In this case, again, I'm doing my very best to hold out against a Teemo, killing him a couple times, so it's still getting absolutely destroyed and farm denied every now and then, although his farm isn't considerably better despite the fact that he got an advantage. Lee Sin comes in, he beats my ass. I'm not going to be able to escape this because obviously Lee Sin clings onto me, and unfortunately it means my passive is also gone. And Echo's not able to revenge kill any of them. Essentially, again, I'm holding out against the wrath of Teemo and the occasional Lee Sin, despite the fact that my own team hasn't actually really come to help me. And I don't really blame them for that. They're doing their own things bottom lane. They're getting kills, they're doing a lot of other things. So sometimes, as much as it might suck, you gotta be the sacrificial lamb. And if you're someone like Zach, or someone like Nautilus, or you're somebody with some sort of crowd control, then that's fine, because eventually you'll still be able to contribute somewhat when it comes to team fights. Just keep an eye on that. Also, Lee Sin is just take a look at him, just trying to steal my little drugs. I managed to get away without any real effort except blowing my ultimate, but I'm not really using it for anything. I do have a teleport, but it's pretty much not really been used for a long time. Mostly because whenever I need to teleport anywhere, the fight either has already ended or Teemo has already bitten my ass up into little pieces. But whatever. I'm taking as much farm as I can get whenever I have some mercy from Teemo or some respite. In the meantime, again, my bottom laners and my jungler are doing some work. So I gotta rely on them to at least make up for my shortcomings in the early game. And again, I'm not gonna say total shortcomings. It's just kind of, again, I had to be the sacrificial lamb. I had to be the one to bite the bullet. And again, I'm perfectly fine with that. Though just kind of hoping somebody else would have warded so at least no one gets complete free reign over my, Zac ass. Anyways, for my build, as you can see, Spirit Visage, just to try to deal with the Teemo. Eventually building a Sunfire Cape, although to be honest, I kind of felt that was not totally necessary considering how much my ass got kicked and I wasn't even going to bother pushing. And then a Abyssal Scepter. And then a random Omen. Abyssal Scepter is mostly because I figured, you know what, I might as well try to kill some squishy motherfuckers because the enemy team doesn't really have any crowd control. Let's say if we kill like the Ezreal or something, that's kind of all we need. And yeah, Teemo kills me, and thankfully Echo this time gets a revenge kill on it. A very, very like almost kind of backfired revenge kill. I probably shouldn't have died there. I got a little too, penisy, and I just kind of figured maybe I could have killed that Teemo, but nah, it's just wishful thinking on my part. But, all good things must come to an end. My bottom lane, despite having a lot of, advantage early on, go in for a kill against the Thresh and the Ezreal, but Lee Sin comes in and ends up punishing the Kalista. I join the fray, and I actually don't get to do very much. I just arrive a little too late. Braum and me get chased down by the Lee Sin, Thresh, and then the Zed. Braum gets killed. I get caught by the Lee Sin with the next chase, and I get finished off. Kha'Zix comes in, kills Lee Sin, and then he dies. So, all that early game shenanigans that we managed to pull off, pretty much gone now. The enemy team has kind of equalized it now. In the replay, you can tell that we got about equal gold. And as you can see, Teemo will basically take no fucks from anyone. He'll murder anybody that gets even remotely close. Now, at the very least, the mid-game is going to begin, where both teams will try to sort of group up together. I can finally say I can abandon top lane because it seems that Teemo's not going to stick to top lane anymore. He's going to try roaming around, so seeing some open lane. Anyways, a small kind of poorly fought fight from both sides goes on, as it seems like either teammates are wanting to back off or, some wanting to engage. So we kind of get a Lee Sin kill, mostly because his teammates ran off. And in this case here, so half of the team kind of doesn't want to fight, but the other team goes in, so it just gets a little too messy. I kill the Thresh, but it cost me my flash and my life, so honestly it was really not worth it and a little way too greedy for me. So that was just kind of stupid thinking about my part. And my bad score reflects that, although, I will repeat that some of the early deaths were against Teemo as a sacrificial lamb, so gave me some leeway there. Either way, the game is equalized in terms of kills. In replay, you can see the blue side has more gold, but we wouldn't really know that. The dragon is equal as well, with both actually having the same goddamn dragon, so hooray for us, I guess. In one case, I think the enemy stole it from us, so yeah. Mid-fight happens, or Ezreal gets caught because I got a little too cocky, and my camera work wasn't so great, so you didn't get to see that, but still. Now, it's sort of, this is one of those kind of Mexican standoffs where neither team really wants to engage because either team is relatively difficult to kill while in just kind of a really bad position for everyone to fight. So we're just kind of taking pock shots at each other. And what's even worse is that we don't really have the means of taking pock shots because Echo's Q is the only thing we have, and that's pretty terrible for this. So we just back off, try to farm a little bit. The enemy team is still riding on our coattails, getting a little bit too close, but nothing really comes of it. We're just going around warding and everything, but then here comes the shenanigans. The enemy team honestly should have known we were here. So they get jumped, Zed gets easily killed, and then Thresh, and then Teemo. That's a very easy kill against us. I think Thresh kind of walks away, but yeah. 2 kills for something they should have known. But this is what I mean by it's just kind of us not having enough damage. Kalista kind of had to walk away because she was nearly dead and healing. But here, Echo backed off thinking we were just going to back off, but me and Braum thought we were still going to fight because we thought we had the advantage against it because we have crowd control and they don't. So with Echo not being in the fight, we didn't have the damage to kill those characters off, and thus both of us, or at least I died and Echo died. So yeah, it's pretty bad. That's just kind of, again, the whole miscommunication or lack of communication, and I mean as much communication as a solo queue game would have, Same thing here, where Kalista thought she'd be able to fight by herself. So unfortunately, she dies, but fortunately, Kha'Zix gets 2 kills. Unfortunately, this means that Zed and the enemy Ezreal are here to kill them. Fortunately, I and the Echo are going to be able to kill this Teemo very slowly and almost kind of pathetically. It's super dangerous. It just showcases just how fucking strong this Teemo is right now. So, we didn't really get any advantage out of this. We just kind of traded kills. It's like, here, have some Teemo blood in exchange for Kha'Zix blood. So, yeah, both teams are pretty equal, although theirs is super highly dangerous, while my team is a lot more, you know, just varied. We have the crowd control, we have some potential power in team fights. It's just, we're not really using that. I mean, even though I got fucked in the early game, if we have some good team fights, if we have some good initiations like we have here, the enemy team won't be able to really do much. We basically got a Thresh kill for very low effort with the enemy team not being able to respond. Again, their team lacks crowd control and proper initiation. My team just kind of lacks the ability to stand total with them. So we're going to be needing some wobble combos. We're going to need some team play here to win this out. But unfortunately, as you're going to see right now, the team is, despite having that advantage, kind of split around that. Echo goes in and alongside with me because we thought maybe we would kill the Lee Sin quickly enough. But unfortunately, I died and the Echo died, and we didn't get a kill at all. So, right, that's pretty bad for us. Kalista goes in for a fight, and thankfully the Braum is fucking on point and saves her ass. Right now the Braum is kind of the MVP. Even though you rarely see the supports get praised, I would actually say that the biggest part of the reason we haven't totally lost is because he's been on point with at least protecting the team. Like, sure, his Qs might have not always been choosing the best targets, but the fact that he's using his shield wall rather aptly, or I mean, rather well, is making it so we don't just completely fall apart in team fights. I mean, right now we have to rely on the Kalista getting some choice auto attacks on some targets, and maybe the Kha'Zix springing on somebody vulnerable, and we'll win. And Braum is making sure those two at least don't get absolutely destroyed before a fight. As you can see, just Teemo chunked me down to half my health with basically one little combo, and that's pretty brutal. Now, anyways, we're gonna try. I'm waiting here in the silence, just waiting for initiation, and when they group up, I go in. But unfortunately, they're a little too. They react properly, and they split up. So the only target who's going to die is Thresh. Yeah, that's pretty grim for us. Thresh gets killed, but we also lose Braum, and then the fight gets super fucking scattered, and we're forced to retreat as quickly as possible. Kha'Zix gets taken down. I get split up and just made into putty. Echo actually gets a kill in the Lee Sin, but he ends up dying too. So it was a 4-for-3 trade. Not the worst, but definitely not something we need right now. And unfortunately, the Inferno Drake is up, so the enemy team gets pretty much free reign on that. Ezreal goes in, and Kalista is going to try to stop him, but she's flanked by the Teemo, and there's pretty much no chance in hell she's going to escape from that, so Teemo just guns her down. Even though the kill disparity is pretty small, I still think my team is on the losing side. Again, we're a teamfight composition, and we're not really teamfighting properly. One half of the team is doing one thing, and the other half is doing another, and we're not truly sure which one is the one we should be following. Like, in my opinion, even during this game, I was thinking that, you know, it's gotten to the point where I can't initiate because the enemy team has all these blinks and all these ways to just sort of disengage, and they've sort of shown it. I just can't grab anybody. So it either has to be Kalista throwing Braum at somebody, or Braum getting a counter initiate on the enemy team. Though the team doesn't really have an initiation, so we kind of have to rely on Kalista most of the time. She has to get a good ultimate in. And also the Teemo split pushing us, and none of us can really fight him 1v1, so that's causing us a lot of stress. Like, again, the enemy team's just ridiculously good at disengaging, and us, with our teamfight composition, just can't catch anybody. Right now, though, we do catch somebody. Kha'Zix kills the Lee Sin, though, in exchange for the Kalista, and then all hell breaks loose. Again, the fight is too split up. We go in, we do get another kill, but then we give chase and sort of run around like headless chickens, and Ezreal kills Kha'Zix and then slows me, slowly, and then tags me and kills me, and yeah, it sort of doesn't turn out to be a really good trade in the end. Though it did showcase that if we trap somebody with our CC, we'll be able to easily kill them. It just happens that no matter how good we have it, our team fights end up devolving into this mess, and we just sort of get finished off. So we don't ever get clean wins. It sort of comes to that point where if we do win, we really can't do anything with that win. So it just sort of comes to the point where, like, every fight we tie, we gain nothing. Every fight they win, they take a shitload from us. So it's pretty grim. Look at how many towers they have in comparison to us. Even though we're about the same amount of kills, it just happens, like I said, whenever our quality of team fights are so poor in comparison that they get to punish us after every victory and we don't get to do anything. Kha'Zix basically died for near free. I'm getting controlled by the Thresh and all these slows, and I eventually just get killed again. Yeah. At this point, we're kind of all full on tilt, but like I said, at least if Braum stays on point alongside the Callista, they'll be able to fuck up the enemy team. Callista and Braum, and of course the Echo in this case gets to showcase a lot of his prowess, so yeah, we end up coming ahead of this 3-2, but if me and the Kha'Zix hadn't been so stupid in our engage, we might have at least survived, right? Anyways, Callista, Braum, and the Echo try to go for a Baron, a very desperate one, but the enemy team, of course, is alive and is able to stop them. I mean, like, the Lee Sin will just steal it if they even get close to killing the Baron, so that's kind of a waste of time. We respawn, we go for it, but whatever, we just kind of have to back off, right? So, yeah, right now it's sort of going to become the push for the Baron, but I'll tell you right now, you're going to prepare the tissues, because you're prepare for absolute sadness, because you're going to see one of the worst things to ever happen. Anyways, the Elder Dragon's about to spawn as well. I'm going to be able to have to control that, right? Just having the Dragon buff or the Baron buff is worth it at the very least. So my team decides, let's go for the Elder buff, or Elder Dragon, while the enemy team goes for the Baron. We catch the Teemo and the Lee Sin, and we managed to actually kill them for no cost. Kha'Zix was the top lane for whatever reason, trying to get the Baron, and died. Now, the enemy team gets the Baron, and the Ezreal takes the Dragon too. So, fuck us, right? I don't know, he doesn't have the burst to do it. I don't have any burst. Callista's the only burst, but I don't know if she missed it, but yay, right? So right now, we're basically up shit creek. We're really far behind now. They're pushing with Baron and the Master, the Elder Dragon, there we go. And they're a full comp, and they're fucking huge, and they're ridiculously strong. So the only chance we have is if they fuck up super royally, or we get some like super heroic engage on them. We really can't fight them. Their minions are too powerful. They themselves are too powerful. They take our inhibitors. They take our towers. They keep wasting their stuff on Braum, though. It's kind of silly. Kha'Zix gets a really garbage initiation for whatever reason he can attempt at that. And yeah, thankfully the enemy team allows themselves to take a free couple hits every now and then. So the team gets slightly lowish, and then the Thresh is getting very, very cocky, just going in for random ass hooks. So we got that going for us. But they cluster up a little bit, because I'm just alluding to what's going to happen. So this video is, as you can see, 4 more minutes, so it's not over yet. They're going for they're not really going for it. They're a little bit too cautious, a little bit afraid. And by the way, Thresh actually stops me midair. That's kind of pretty good of him. I don't know if he intended that. But look, Thresh got a little too close to that, and we basically fuck him up for free. So much CC, he dies for basically little effort. Well, it takes quite a while. I jump in, but then we get so much aerial CC on him. I get my ultimate on, bouncing around. They this time get scattered around. So Teemo gets picked off, and so does the Thresh or the Lee Sin. Well, the Teemo's somewhere. He's gonna get picked off right now. And then the Ezreal and the Zed are the only ones alive. I got fucked up enough to. None of us really died. I got fucked up, so I kind of just back off and initiate, try to grab the Ezreal. But then the Braum steps it up and just goes ham on the Ezreal. And the Callista and him are able to chase him down, stunning him despite all his Quicksilver sashing and all that bullshit. And eventually, slowly, finally, bring his sorry ass down. Finally, the shutdown goal is given to Callista. That was a fucking grim fight, wasn't it? And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit pauses, but I'm still rather sick, so I'm getting a bit of an itchy throat. Anyhow, that team fight there was a massive morale boost to the team. It shows that we can still win this if we wombo combo the shit out of them. Still though, we probably should have been doing that from the very get-go, as their team doesn't have an initiator or really any crowd control. My team would beat them in team fights in most days, on most days I mean. So it just happens that individually they're a lot stronger, and because of our scattered team fighting, they got to abuse that matter. So right now, as long as we stick together and get another initiation in, we might be able to come ahead. They get the tower easily, unopposed essentially. And here's what I meant by the Callista being able to, be the one to engage it. Look at the enemy team. Again, they're getting clustered up. So Callista just sort of tosses them, hits two key targets. I jump in, combo the shit out of them. Echo managed to get a double stun on them. We killed Teemo, basically little effort. The enemy team is forced on full retreat. I jump in on them, hit them both. Randuin's Omen, Ezreal is basically slow to a damn crawl. Eventually he dies, and then we just turn on the rest of them. It costs us Kha'Zix, but who gives a shit, right? We basically wiped out the enemy team. As I said, scampered off and ran off, but whatever. But the enemy team basically didn't get to do anything in that fight except run away. That's how the entire game should have gone. No matter how fucked up I may have gone in the early game, as long as I got to do that, and then we'd be golden. Anyways, I can't really do a lot of Baron damage, so I'm going to be using my slimy body to try to hold them off, slow them, just be in their way, so my teammates can try to secure the Baron. Eventually Kha'Zix comes in and is able to do the final blow on it, and belongs to the Callista. Team fight breaks loose. We kill the Teemo, we kill the Zed, and we also kill the Thresh. So that hooray for us. And I thought we were still chasing, so I jump in and died like a complete chode. So that's pretty bad. So my teammates are pushing down mid, and the best thing happens. Echo gets a ridiculously good stun alongside the Braum, of course. Traps both Lee Sin and the Ezreal. And then with that, the game is done. My team goes for the mad push. This game, brutal, super fucking hard fought. I got absolutely ass blasted throughout most of the game, but thankfully our team fighting was just so much better, or at least was supposed to be so much better. And then we finally got shit together, and we managed to crush him 3 team fights in a row. So Jesus Christ, this game was hard earned. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.